Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Coach Rambabu from Shareabri. You are watching Rendezvous with Rambabu, episode 5. I feel very happy to see Coach Kavita Ramchand ma'am from Mauritius Island as a guest for today's episode to discuss very interesting or very needful topic, how to win in tough times. So thank you everyone. And if you love or if you like these educational videos, don't forget to subscribe, watch, share, and giving comment in the chat section. We feel very happy if you let us know about you a little bit to the
Okay.
viewers.
My name is Kavita Ramchan. I'm from Mauritius, a very, very beautiful island down south in the Indian Ocean. So, my journey was not always into coaching. I have always been an entrepreneur. So, my father's family business was always there. I worked there as a child. When we grew up, we were always going to our shop to help. And then I got married to a businessman and I continued working in his business. So my life was basically like that. Although I'm a graduate, I have done my BHSC in 1996, but education was just because, we were educated and that's about it. It was not about going into a full-fledged career at that time. My life was expected. At least I thought it was expected of me to, be just like what I've seen my mother do. So it was the same. Now, how I became a coach is based on an experience I had, which turned my whole life completely by 180 degrees. And that's what led me to become a life transformation coach first, because my own life transformed. And now I'm working more with mothers and children because I've realized that it was all through my journey of what a mother went through that now I can help other mothers and children to also face the challenges of life and come out of it victorious. So, this is my purpose of life now. I am helping people grow in awareness of who they are, why are they on this planet Earth, and how to live this beautiful life.
Yes, ma'am. Very interesting. I would like to ask and one more interesting question. So you have been traveling for 5 to 6 months along with Share Every community. We feel very happy to see you as a soul companion on this global platform. Will you please speak about a few words this particular platform?
Well, Share Every, when you were contacting me in the beginning, I was quite taken up with other projects. But then one thing that I appreciated in you, Mr. Rambabu, was that you were not giving up. And I
Yeah.
like that attitude in people. In
Thank
fact,
you.
I really like that attitude of someone who is so, the only sentence you had to tell me to make me stop and pay attention to Share Every was actually, ma'am, I'm on a mission. So when you said that, those words, that resonated with me because I'm also on a mission. So I think people who are on missions, they kind of know the energy that comes from somebody who's on a mission. So when
Yes.
you told me that, it didn't matter what mission you were on. For me, what mattered is you were on a mission and you are not a quitter. That's what I am helping people become, actually. I want to say that you have grown so big from that point, and in just a
Yeah.
matter of 6 months, and this is what happens when you're on a mission. You do not stop, you're unstoppable, and you want to keep growing and growing and growing because you realize how much potential you have as a human being, and you're bringing all that to the surface, not for you in particular, but to help so many people. So, it's basically what I also believe, that when you're out to help people, the universe helps you. And the power that comes out of you at that time is tremendous. So this is why you've grown from one Share Every and you now have so many. I think you have Smarties, you have different for children, you have
Yes,
different
ma'am.
different platforms, all on Share Every, of course, and but you've expanded, you've grown so big, and I should congratulate you, in fact, for that you've done a great job.
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
impressed, in fact.
I feel very happy to listen like this from your words. Yes, without delaying, and we'd like to discuss, particularly in this pandemic situation, because this kind of topic is very important, and the entire the globe is facing a challenge against the COVID. Whenever I pick this topic, first in my mind, you only flashed. So definitely, I want to
Oh my God.
get the knowledge or experiences from Kavita ma'am for this particular topic. My first question, if you permit, shall I?
Sure.
Why do we go through the unpleasant moments, and to whom we should blame if we face any unpleasant moment, and whether ourselves or the people, the society around us?
Great question. Okay. So my answer would be one thing. We are all a product of our own decisions, and we are the ones creating our own reality. Whether we know it or we don't know it, that's something else. But we are the creators of our own destiny. Now, the thing is, first thing is, you don't blame anybody. Even if you cannot believe it right now. Like, I would tell you, when I was being coached by my mentors, I was refusing. I was a bit stubborn and refusing to take responsibility that I had created my reality, because by at that time it was really not good. I was really, like you could say, drowning, So, but I had to accept that these were my results and take responsibility for them. Only then could I change them. Now, this is where I want to come up with the good news, that tough times will always be there. Challenges will always be there. We are facing a pandemic, which is a bit of a greater challenge, but challenges have always been there in people's lives.
Exactly.
The only thing is, we have to understand the greater picture. We have to look at the greater picture of life, where we have to understand that this is a dual world. If there are good times, there are also bad times. Without bad times, there would not be good times. If there's sadness, there will be happiness, but you will not know happiness if you've not experienced sadness. You get what I mean? So this is a dual world. And now we have to just understand that both will exist at all times. There will never come a time when there's no challenges. Challenges will always be there. You want to make yourself tough to face the challenges. Tough times will not last, but tough people will last. So you want to become tough,
Exactly.
and understand also that the challenges that are coming in your life, they are not coming to hurt you, to throw you off. No, they're coming to sharpen you. This is something else that we have not learned, that to become the best version of ourselves. I'm sure as you grew and share every step, like they say, every level has a new devil. You're going to meet obstacles all along your journey. But are you going to sit down and say, no, I cannot do it? Or you're going to say, let's face it, I'm sure we'll find a solution.
Exactly.
Bottom line is our attitude.
Yes.
If we develop, or if we, let's say we don't have a great attitude, now we've realized that I have a habit of complaining, or I have a habit of looking at everything in a negative way. Let's change. You cannot change people. You cannot change circumstances. You can change your way of looking at it. You can look at a glass half full, or you can choose to look at it half empty. One is going to make you feel good, one is going to make you feel bad. We should really sometimes take lessons from small children. Have you seen a baby who has learned how to crawl? He will fall, he will get hurt, but he will not stop crawling.
Yeah, exactly.
So why do human beings feel that when challenges come, they should just be scared or not face it or run away from it. It doesn't solve it. It's coming for your own growth.
Yeah.
So we
Very
need to face
inspiring
it.
answer, ma'am. Very inspiring answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. My next question is, what might be the reasons to face hard times or tough times?
See, the reasons we are going through this is again based on universal laws. Now, here I'm going to tell you, like earlier, how we were saying, we cannot blame anyone. Let's say today I don't have a positive attitude. Where did I get that attitude from? I was not born with a negative attitude, you know, but then I grew up in an environment where probably people didn't have good attitudes. So we are basically conditioned when we were very young by our parents, our grandparents, our family. The way they think became our way of thinking. So now if we have a habit of blaming, we probably have gotten that from either our mom, our dad, our grandparents, somebody who impacted our lives. Now this is in this lifetime. So being born a human is a huge privilege. So you have to see it as a privilege that I chose this life. And when you were born, you were like a tiny seed, like a mango seed, who has a pattern plan for a mango tree. So your life was a seed, the DNA of you has the pattern plan for your life. And you're going to attract everything you need for the experiences you need to go through to be able to liberate yourself from this. That's why some people will go through very tough times, because they chose it. And the sooner you face these tough times and you don't run away from them, the sooner you get liberated. You see?
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am. Yes.
Questioning why it happened, it's happened. You don't remember what you did, but you know it's happening. So face it, find out the solution.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
work on it.
Yeah, it's a nice answer. Nice answer. Thank you. And my next question is, this question they put themselves, majority of the people while facing tough times or difficult times. See, during the facing difficult times, they feel or they question themselves like this: why these kind of negative situations or keep on happening in my life? So how should I face? And also, and my life is connected with the mess. So what should I do? And what would you say for these kind of people?
They have to stop talking in the negative. Number one, very important. See, before words come out of your mouth, they've gone through your mind first. You thought about them first. Now, what happens, Mr. Rambabu, when we say, my life is a mess? Let's say first time the person saw his life was a mess and he said, oh God, my life is a mess. He thought it first. Now, what happens is, because he's letting his reality dictate how he should think, he's going on thinking my life is a mess, my life is a mess, and that is going to go on loop in him. So he's going to continue. You see, there's a law called the law of attraction, but the law of attraction is a secondary law. These are universal laws. They were not created by man. They're the laws of the universe. See, like the law of gravity is for the earth. Anything that will fall will go down. It will not go upwards, right? So if a person is always thinking negative thoughts, after some time, those negative thoughts become his habit, his habitual way of thinking.
Exactly.
Once something becomes a habit, you cannot stop it. It's already going to reflect in your reality. Your reality is an illusion. You are creating it by your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your actions. If a person is feeling his life is a mess, his actions are going to be based on how he feels. He's not going to be jumping with joy. Now, the universe just says, bless you. So if you're feeling my life is a mess, the universe just says, bless you with more of a mess. Because your subconscious mind the universe doesn't know what you plant in it. The universe will just take it and produce it in your reality. So if you're going on saying my life is a mess, the universe has to match and show you more of mess in your life. Exactly. So from today on, if anybody who's listening to this, make a decision, because nothing in your life changes unless and until you make a decision. Make a decision that from today onwards, Even if you do not know how the laws work, whatever, you don't know. You don't need to know. All you need to know is you need to only think positive thoughts. Think thoughts that you want, not that what you don't want. Do you want your life to be a mess? No, right? So think of what you want. Think it so much that the universe will start to feel that now she's saying her life is great. The universe has to match. So you will continue to see more great things in your life. If we are thinking of something for long, we will become that person. If a person is always thinking mess, his life is going to become a mess because he's going to become a mess first. You see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I have one more very interesting question. I read it somewhere, and facing difficult times or hard times is also, there is something positivity in it. During the facing any situations, which the situations go against us, what kind of lessons we should learn from those kind of junctures?
Today, I'm going to tell you one thing. Everything that comes into your life is a blessing. Okay. Before I used to say it's a lesson or a blessing. Today, I don't even say it's a lesson. I say it's a blessing. Like you can say it's a blessing in disguise. Because the whole purpose of your life is to grow and become aware of how powerful you are as a human being. Okay. So every lesson every incident that is going to come, good or bad, it is going to make you aware of how you are the crown of creation. Now, to become that kind of a person, to release that kind of an energy from you, you will have to go through fire, So it's like carbon is going to shine like a diamond. The same carbon becomes a diamond, but it has to go through heat. So don't look at the negative experiences as negative. They have come to bless you. We human beings have been taught over time, and it's been coming down generations and generations, to avoid failure, to avoid negativity. But today, if there is no night, we won't have peace. We won't sleep. If there is day, there has to be night.
Yeah.
So both are important for your own growth, because God gave us hands and feet and a mind to think. He's not going to do everything for us.
Yeah, ma'am. Very interesting. And is it really possible to lead entire a life not facing any difficult times? Is it possible?
No. See, one thing is there. You can face less of difficult times, but you cannot avoid the difficult times. See, ignorance is part of our journey. Okay. Ignorance is removed with the light. The darkness can go with light of knowledge. We have one thing I would like to tell everybody is never stop learning in life, because we are eternal beings. If everybody was living the life as we should, so everyone should be reading their scriptures also every day. Just as important it is to take care of your physical body, you're also supposed to take care of your mind and you have to nurture your mind. You have to think and keep thinking. That's why you see people who retire from their jobs, they start deteriorating fast because they stop working their minds. It's the mind that is actually even more important than the body, because everything starts from here first. So how are we nurturing our minds? There is a philosopher called William James who said the greatest discovery of our generation is that human beings can change their lives by changing the attitudes of their mind. Great. So if a person, we've heard things like your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. We've also heard conquer your mind, you'll conquer your life. Yeah. So one has to work towards conquering their minds. It's all
Yeah.
about a mindset, because 95% of your success and happiness in life today is based on your mindset.
Yes. Well said. Next question, and it's very important to know the answer for many people. See, while the people facing miserable junctures or miserable situations, in that distract mode, they take very wrong decisions like commit suicide or to give up completely their particular activities, or some people they blame God. So why God is making me in my life like this? So while I'm going through the right path. See, what do you say about this kind of people?
See, the thing is, most people of our generation, what is happening is there has been a lot of lack of integrity. Lack of integrity means I'm thinking something, I'm feeling something else, and I'm doing something else. Okay. For example, when I wanted to go for my career after college, I actually wanted to become an actress because I used to love dancing. Did I even say it? No. I was feeling it, but I could not speak it because I thought my parents would not let me. So, what is happening in today's times is a lot of people, a lot of children, very intelligent, IQ is very high, but their parents are raising them in such a way: you should not fail, failing is bad, and you should do what I'm telling you to do. I know better. I'm your father, I'm your mother, you know. Now, are you telling that child what is the gift you have come to bring to the world? What is your talent? I had the talent of dance, but I never could speak, you see. So if a child is not, you see, children are so happy when they're small, and as they grow up they start to withdraw. Why? Does it make sense? Stress is a buzzword today. Does it make sense to be stressed? I didn't go through stress when I was a child, but my kids have gone through more stress than I have gone. Why? Because today without realizing, I was doing exactly with them what my parents did with me. How my father did with me, I was doing same thing with my children. Until one day my son came and told me, Mama, I hate the sound of your voice now. And I said, when did this happen? How did my son become so sad? You know? But I did not realize that I myself was no longer at ease with me, because for a long time I was never thinking about me. Who said that a woman should not think about herself? That her life should be dedicated only to her family and not to her? When did we make this separation of gender roles? And who gave the permission that man is superior, woman is inferior, women should listen to the man? What is happening? Children are watching. Parents are continuously fighting. They cannot
Yeah.
get see eye to eye. Now children are being product of their raise. Their, you know how many children today I speak to are suicidal? They feel that their parents fight because of them. They feel they've done something wrong. So there is a problem in society. It's nobody's fault. We're not going to blame anyone, but each one has a responsibility to at least learn what is the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You have given very beautiful or inspiring answers. Before closing this podcast, I would like to ask last question, which is related to you. My last question is: have you ever faced difficult times in your life, and how you became to overcome? So please
Okay,
share your
for me,
experience. Yes,
yeah,
please.
basically for me, I had three major impacts in my life. Because as a child, I grew up like a princess. I was given everything I wanted. I was never made to feel I don't have anything. I was really raised with a lot of positivity. I am very thankful to have a mother with a very positive attitude. And my father also gave me a lot of self-belief in myself, like you can do, you can, I'm like his princess, like that. But the first emotional impact happened when my second baby was born, and the doctors came and told me he may not survive. First baby was okay, second baby came and they said he may not survive, he needs blood ASAP, we need to do triple exchange of blood. I was like, I don't want to hear anything anymore. I just went to the nursery. I looked at my baby. He was totally naked under blue UV light. Only his eyes were covered. And I just said, you're coming out of there. That's it. I don't know. Because I rely on the higher power all the time. I don't rely on myself to solve my problems. If I knew how to solve my problems, why is God there? So I said, you are coming out. I don't know how. You just have to tell yourself what you want and let the power take over. We have to learn to let go and let God take over of what we want. It took 5 days because in the middle we had lots of people who came, who tested to give their blood, rejected because one had high BP, one had this problem, one had that problem. Eventually it was my 14-year-old cousin who could give blood to him. And luckily he stabilized and he came out. But after that, I have been somebody with full of questions ever since I was a child, because I want to know what is life all about. I've always questioned that. So I wanted to know, why did my son go through this? First time in my life, I experienced something like that. So that led me, somebody told me, why don't you come and study the scriptures? So I studied 4 years of the Bhagavad Gita, Advaita Vedanta, and all that. And that was like waking me up to think differently. So that was a great 4 years. And I was in the Philippines at that time. After that, I moved back to Mauritius. And then the second emotional impact happened when I had to put my kids in school in Mauritius. I had gone to government school here and I thought it's the best. But when I put my kids, I had to move them out in 2 months and transfer them to a private school. And that was something that shocked me, because I couldn't understand how children get stressed at school. This was not the case when I was at school. I had to take my son for a scan, an ultrasound of his stomach, because he was nauseating and vomiting before going to school. And in the Philippines, he was already in standard 2, and he was standing number 1 in class. He was so intelligent. So how come over here he was so afraid to go to school? So, then I realized that there's been a big change in the education system. And I would again go back to say that lots of people have gotten into the teaching profession, but they are not really teachers. They don't enjoy teaching. They're in the profession just because they're going to get holidays when their children get holidays, or they have not upgraded their teaching skills with times. You see, I learned a lot of things when I put my kids in the private school. I learned that they have to have a goal set for the week and for the day. And that was a different way of thinking. I learned from their school that no, children are not supposed to get homework because they are here from 8 to 3. This is their work time. You don't keep working the whole day, So you work from 10 to 3, 8 to 3, you go home, you are supposed to relax. I mean, when we were growing up at school, we finished school, we went for tuitions, and then we had homework. So we've been conditioned to keep working and working and working. Whereas in this system, it was so different. There was time to relax. So I could not see my kids relaxing. It was making me uncomfortable. You see, that was the second impact I got that shifted my way of thinking. But you see, there was a greater good in the impact. I was very angry at the school system, but then it was because I had to discover another way of teaching, another way of schooling. And then the third emotional impact, which was the biggest, was when my brother passed away. He was 29 years old. And I had always been an unconscious completer to the law of attraction. I knew I was attracting everything in my life. I always knew that. Even the things I was afraid, I used to attract. But I didn't know how I was doing it. But my question now became, how did I attract my brother's death? Because I never even thought something like that would happen in my life. And I was just like, enough, enough. What's happening to my life? It was not me. This was not the same person I used to be. So who had I become? I couldn't recognize this person. And I looked at my results. Could I run away from them? No. I said, these are my results, but I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to find my happy self back, my positive attitude back. It's not been an easy journey. Depression is a very, very, very bad place to be in. It's very dark. It's not nice. So that's my story. Now, if you tell me, ma'am, would you say my story has been easy? Those 3 emotional impacts, they were not. As a mother, I know what I went through, but I can tell every mother on this call, as a mother, you have the power to come back, to come out of it. And you can. Everyone can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Very inspiring answers. Even your life experience is also a kind of lesson to win the tough times. Thanks for providing your precious or hectic time. Let's share every. So feel very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.